Oh, right, this. Secret science behind UFO shapes. I was going to read this. This is from the guy named Condor Man. Oh, he's an aerospace engineer. He's on Twitter, I guess. Okay, I'll follow him. I don't fucking... Is this something he's built? Interesting. Insight from a senior level aerospace engineer. Well, I mean, hypothetically, it doesn't matter what the fuck shape it is because they're manipulating gravity around it. Isn't that like the theory? So it could be a giant flying dildo. And there's actually been shapes that people have seen that actually kind of look like that. So you make whatever you want, right? You could do they could look like balloons even. It doesn't really matter. It's because there's no aerodynamics around the actual craft, but a case can be made of the geometric shapes of UAP are designed to attenuate the interaction between the propulsion system and the space-time fabric. Oh, see, that's far more interesting. This is especially necessary during the gravitational instability these vehicles display during low speed or hovering conditions. Who the fuck is this guy? The shapes are designed to gently keep the UAP in a tight geometric space as it settles on a convex space-time distortion that resembles a mound while slowing down or stopping to hover. What leads to the convex space-time distortion? One explanation is that it is caused by an exotic material employed by UAP propulsion systems. 115. I first described this material as a catalyst for an advanced propulsion system in the article Can Tic Tacs Fly? And theorized that this is composed of negative matter. Interesting. Okay, it was an antimatter reactor that powered Bob's craft. And in the article, a conceptual view of a UAP reverse engineering program, I named it Cavorite after the material that can negate the force of gravity introduced in H.G. Wells' The First Man on the Moon, first published in 1900. Cavorite, or negative matter, is not antimatter. Okay, well, never mind. It is a proposed solution for dark energy. In 2017, scientists at Washington State University created a fluid with negative mass by cooling rubidium atoms to just a small fraction of a degree above absolute zero. This implies there is a good possibility negative matter exists and can be engineered. The gravitational field of an object made of positive matter causes all other objects, including those made of negative matter, to move towards it. The gravitational field of an object made of negative matter would have the reverse effect. Thus, it would cause all other objects made of positive and negative matter to move away from it. This reverse gravity property is proposed as the origin of dark energy, as clumps of negative matter held together by electric charges would push all other matter away and lead to the expanding universe. Cavorite would also interact very differently with space-time than positive matter. A positive matter object, M plus in the illustration below, bends space-time to create a concave distortion, like a heavy weight placed on a suspended rubber sheet. But a negative matter object, M minus in the illustration below, has the opposite effect and creates a concave distortion similar to a mound. This is extremely interesting shit. Who is this guy? The ultimate alien troll would be to make a perfect cube craft. Oh yes. Well, there's people saw those off the coast, didn't they? Wasn't there a cube craft someone saw off the coast of a fucking aircraft carrier? The concave distortion of positive matter attracts other matter by having it rotate, orbit, or fall towards the distortion. But the convex distortion of negative matter pushes other matter away as it falls down the sides of the mound. Here's the illustration here. Intriguing. Okay. So there. So you could see maybe we've got like this would be more like the gravitational distortion we get from large quantities of mass from planets and whatnot, right? So that it creates this kind of concave distortion out in space-time. And then things come around the planets, kind of like the sun does in our solar system, all the planets do. But this is some weird effect here. So instead of it concaving space-time, it creates a mound in space-time. Okay, interesting. Using negative matter as propulsion system was first proposed by Robert Forward in a 1990 paper titled Negative Matter Propulsion. A Cavorite-powered propulsion system can reproduce all the propulsion characteristics associated with UAP, which is interesting because even how Bob described, it's almost like you're constantly rolling down a hill is what they create, the effect. It can enable powerful acceleration and deceleration, abrupt maneuvers, hover in strong winds, and other characteristics associated with UAP. The properties of negative matter even explain how the craft fly at supersonic and hypersonic speeds without creating sonic booms. This is a result of the convex space-time distortion created by negative matter that was described above. As the craft containing the Cavorite moves in high speed, the convex distortion continues to be created above it, diverging the parallel space-time geodesic lines as seen in the figure below. The divergence allows the craft to fly through a tunnel in space-time devoid of air, and with no air, there are no sonic booms. There is also no friction, no heating, even at very high Mach speeds. The concept also applies to traveling through water, so it is consistent with transmedium travel. It's very interesting, actually. They're talking negative mass, I think. Well, technically, yes, I think CFG, yeah. That's what it would be, yeah. Negative mass matter, yeah. I think, or he's mentioning matter, is implying mass, I don't know. I proposed 2 different methods for propulsion systems that employ Cavorite in the Tic Tac reverse engineering program article cited above, so I will not repeat those here. The purpose of this article is to show how the UAP shapes are sculpted by the propulsion technology. The common denominator to many of the shapes is that they exhibit some degree of roundness. Tic Tac spheres, eggs, and discs all have degrees of roundness. Triangles fall outside this observation, but they do have 3 or 4 round, brightly lit devices on the underside of their fuselage. The roundness is very likely related to achieving the proper space-time disturbance necessary for the propulsion system, but roundness can also cause issues for the craft that hover in slow speeds. When a craft using Cavorite slows down or hovers, and divergence of the space-time geodesics also become less pronounced, eventually forming the concave distortion that looks like a mound, as described above. The natural tendency, especially for rounded objects, is to follow the geodesic lines and tumble down the side of the mound. Yes. So the UAP would roll away and be unable to remain in one spot. In order to avoid this tumble and displacement, the vehicle must be designed to settle down over the convex distortion without rolling away. The following are applications of this concept to several UAP shapes. Who the fuck is this guy? Exactly. What? Like, is this some inside baseball here? He's just casually dropping on the Liberation Times website, or this is exactly how Bob described the craft's working. Like, literally identical as to how Bob described the distortion worked. Okay. Condor Man. I'm following him now on Twitter, so I'm just gonna move some shit around. All this shit on my fucking desk, man. Discs. In a previous article titled "Why Do UFO Discs Wobble?" I described the wobble effect that has been reported for discs when they slow down or hover. The descriptions are similar to a spinning coin during its last rotations before laying flat on a surface. This wobble effect was confirmed by Lieutenant Ryan Graves, who posted on X that the gimbal object also wobbled post-video cutout. This wobble is caused by the spinning of the disc as it settles over the convex space-time distortion. The disc shape, whether pointed at the bottom like gimbal or flatter, is designed to make the disc spin around a tight radius until it settles flatter at an angle. The shape prevents the disc from rolling away. See the illustration below. A nice ChatGPT generation there, I see. Okay. Interesting, okay. It's interesting that I was completely incorrect. I didn't think it would matter. But here you go. This is why I'm an idiot, and we should listen to this gentleman, not me. The double-edged sword face of the UFO propulsion explanation says that of the sport model is that even with Down and Brown's experiments or any other explanation, the propulsion is trying to be explained through a human understanding of physics. Even if we can achieve the same effective result, we're still not addressing the claim of aliens having access to an element that explains all of the confusion. Yeah. Well, yeah, and as people have mentioned, I think more recently, Max, too, Matt Brown had mentioned this, that we have made a poor recreation of this, but yeah, we still lack the fundamental understanding of what the fuck is actually going on. Yeah. Still leaves that unsolved, even if we successfully create a warp drive. What about the native method, the alien way, perhaps? Yeah. Or maybe incapable of manufacturing or creating some of the materials or elements needed to make the generator that would get us that level of propulsion that they're dealing with. Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, it's that's what Matt literally said, right? That we've just created a poor recreation of this, which would make sense, really. I mean, because I don't know, it'd be like the monkeys, like putting together like a bike, you know, like they made two round objects and they got a frame and a seat, but like it's not a fucking motorcycle, right? Like, yeah, it can go down the hill at the same speed at idle, but like, you know, when you're on flat terrain, like obviously the bike's got gasoline and pistons and Monkeys with no idea. We have no idea what the fuck that even is. Like, how we don't have the synthesized gas, let alone where to find it, right? So oil. So yeah, we can't even observe without interfering, brother. Eggs. Oh my heavens. This is how the eggs work. Oh, this is potentially more interesting than it might appear. I don't know. Was this guy working on one of the programs? Like, is this one of the reasons eggs evolve their shape is because many bird species build nests on branches and cliffs. If the eggs are more spherical, they would roll away and fall. But the conical design makes them roll in a tight circle, keeping them safe. The same applies to egg-shaped UAP. I think about evolution sometimes. And when it comes to things like that, it's like, how did the bird develop an egg that didn't do that? Was it more that through natural selection, maybe the birds that had eggs shaped like that survived and the ones that didn't? That's probably the explanation. Right? Through trial and error. Interesting though. Yeah. As they slow down and hover, the craft rolls in a tight circle over the convex distortion until it settles down, preventing it from rolling away. See the illustration. Blow the illustration up for people again so here we can all see it together. Okay. So, man, I wouldn't want to be fucking inside of that. Fucking, I guess maybe it would be doing that within the distortion now. Because would you not be like thrown around inside the fucking egg? Jesus Christ. Like you're going down a drain. Yeah. The egg is an amazing flight shape, lads. Fuck, it is though. We shouldn't shit on it. Like it's a legit mode of transport for someone. But wouldn't it be a meme if it turned out that like our crafts ended up actually being the eggs? Right? It would be funny though. It'd be a very like memey thing, right? I eat eggs every morning. Right? We became the egg. You know? Monkey and the egg. Tic Tacs. The Tic Tacs have cylindrical bodies and can readily roll away from the convex space-time distortion, but they were also witnessed by Commander Favor to have their own version of the wobble as they hover and settle down over the convex distortion. In the article, Navy pilot recalls his encounter with UFOs. I think it was not from this world. Fravor described a Tic Tac hovering above the disturbed water as he descended to intercept. We looked down. We see a white disturbance in the water, like something's under the surface. And the waves are breaking over, but we see next to it, and it's flying around, and it's this little white Tic Tac around. It's moving around. Left, right, forward, back, just random. In other interviews, he described the Tic Tac as bouncing around like a ping pong ball. What feature of the Tic Tac shape causes it to bounce around as it settles instead of rolling away? That is either the primary or secondary roll of the appendages at the bottom of the cylinder. As the Tic Tac begins to hover, it will roll and tumble until the appendages stop its side motion. It will then roll and tumble in the opposite way with the appendages again stopping the motion. The process continues until it eventually settles down without rolling away. See the illustration below. See if we can make sense of this. Side view, front view. So I don't know why. Okay. This is designed this way, I guess. Okay, so, oh, Jesus Christ, again, like, are you not inside the craft being bobbed all the fucking round? I would imagine. Or are you? Like, is it? That's fucking crazy. He's such a dick today. Oh my God. Triangles. Triangles do not fit into the observations of erratic wobbling and tumbling because they're structurally flat surfaces that do not roll. They are typically described as having 3 bright round lights at the triangle's vertices. Assuming these are part of the Cavorite fuel propulsion system, the flat triangle can settle in the convex distortion and appear steady and stable in the sky when hovering. Buddy, come here. Come here. So, but didn't we make the fucking triangles? Like, what's going on? What's happening? Didn't we? Wouldn't it be a meme if, like, we figured, like, so the aliens did the fucking disc and it wobbles around like a drunkard. I don't know who did the egg and who did the Tic Tac. Some people claim we did the Tic Tac, but, like, why wouldn't you just fucking be in the triangle then? Because it doesn't move around at all. It just seems like the most logical shape, but this is my smooth brain trying to wrap around these fucking complicated concepts here. So yeah, putting together a structure or a subatomic particle far away, currently just smashing these together. Okay, In terms of birds and evolution, the egg shape is probably the most efficient for being warmed and hatching when sat on, considering multiple eggs and nest also, and how they interact with each other when compressed in a soft nest. Interesting. One of those memes that, again, yeah, they just came out on top, you know. Okay, but go on. Spheres. Though some spheres have been described to move and shift as if inside a large bubble, most descriptions of hovering spheres report that they appear to remain stationary in winds aloft, to quote the original UAPTF report. My explanation is that I do not believe spheres use cavorite in the propulsion systems, therefore they would not have to settle on a convex space-time distortion. I wrote about a possible propulsion system for spheres using the Mesnier effect in the article Can Spheres Fly? This propulsion system would allow spheres to easily hover in high winds and accelerate and turn quickly, but not with the agility of the larger cavorite-fueled vehicles. In summary, the shapes of several observed UAP are compatible with the need to keep the UAP in tight geometric space as it settles on a convex space-time distortion created by a negative matter-based propulsion system. Okay, again, positive is more positive matter-based propulsion system creates the convex, creates a dip in space-time, kind of like large quantities of mass, like planets. A negative matter-based propulsion system creates a mound, and then you roll down this hill of space-time. And then you can just keep doing that indefinitely, and then that's how they get from star to star and stuff. And you can just go ridiculously fast. I think is that how it works? I don't know. Anyway, after examining the variety of shapes, a question that comes to mind is, why are these so many? My best guess is that it's related to the mission they're performing. A modern Air Force has many aircraft with different designs, all optimized for the role. As non-human intelligence presence on Earth would have the same. I also can't rule out there is more than one NHI. Jesus. Different NHIs may employ different technologies and design philosophies, adding to the variety of the shapes. Some of them may just want to get dizzy as fuck inside of this fucking Tic Tac and this egg. Boys might just want to fucking. It's like a merry-go-round. It's like a carnival ride, right? Inside the fucking craft. Like, why not? You know? Oh, fuck. Okay. And lastly, there's a possibility that in addition to NHI, some of the shapes belong to our civilization as part of the black programs or even reverse engineering NHI technology, as proposed in the article, Reverse Engineering UFOs and the Alien Reproduction Vehicles. Very intriguing. Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know how based this all is. I mean, it seems very interesting. This is definitely a wildly interesting find, refreshing explanation of how these crafts ride the wave of gravity, brother. Yeah, man. I mean, at the very least, it's intriguing. Like, I don't know how based is this. Like, I mean, so like we kind of have an idea maybe as to what the fuck they're doing though. So you could hypothetically. Again, this is not something you want to feed in the ChatGPT because it really can't do stuff like this. But what did he call it again? A negative mass generator. Where are we? Negative matter-based propulsion system causes a mound in space-time rather than a dip. Like, do we have this? Is this like theoretical? Like, do we know if we had enough energy we could do this? Like, yeah, that's very interesting. Yes, exactly. The diagram illustrates a conceptual difference between positive mass and negative mass in general relativity. Positive mass creates a dip in space-time. Easy enough. It attracts other objects like planets. Negative mass, hypothetical here, okay, causes a mound and outward curve repelling nearby masses and even itself. Implications for propulsion. A negative mass-based propulsion system exploits the repulsive mound effect. It paired with the positive mass, Alcubierre style. Okay, so this is a part of the Alcubierre drive. Space-time can be compressed in front and expanded behind a warp bubble. Okay. It wouldn't move the ship through space faster than light, but rather move space itself carrying the ship. Right. So that's the way around the light barrier, right? Is that you're moving space itself, not the ship. No confirmed evidence. The Casimir effect and exotic material hint at some related quantum effects, but nothing stable or macroscopic. Interesting. Okay, so yeah, there you go. So that is a part of the Alcubierre drive. Interesting. Maybe just elaborate on the Alcubierre drive a bit more. I take that back. ChatGPT actually knew exactly what it was. It's incredible. We're getting close, brothers and sisters, to where it's just literally going to be whatever we want it to be. That's impressive that it was able to pull that from that diagram. Interesting. It could all be a ruse to get us to trust it. The egg shape is the least intimidating shape, and we could look at it like a birth of a creature and not a threat. So use human emotion against itself to best represent itself to humanity. Don't trust the egg. Don't trust what comes out of it. What if Space Henry Cavill came out of the egg, brother? What if like a really good-looking Palladium man like Henry Cavill, Brad Pitt, all thrown together into one man walks out? Would that just make you even more distrustful? What are they trying to do here? Trying to bait us all in. The sexy boys come out. What are you going to do, right? Like, in 2017, physicists at Washington State University created a Bose-Einstein condensate where rubidium atoms behaved in ways analogous to having negative mass under certain conditions. Okay, yeah. But this wasn't true negative mass. It was an emergent property in a controlled quantum system. Okay. So, yeah, he admitted that was from the article, I think. Wasn't it, Nick? Yeah. So, yeah. So this is kind of still hypothetical. I guess it's ChatGPT just said, yeah. Just don't know how to respond to the BK. Fuck, they're gonna get us. They're gonna get us, these aliens. The theoretical darling of faster than light travel conjured by Mexican physicist Miguel Alcubierre in 1994. Okay, so it doesn't move you faster than light locally, instead it warps space-time itself. I always find it intriguing that this came out in 1994 and Bob's story came out in 1990. And this is effectively what Bob described. And then somebody's like, I have this crazy new theory in physics. Oh, I just came up with it one day, right? While I was watching TV. I don't know why. I don't know how. So contract space in front of the craft, expand space behind it. The craft sits in a flat bubble in the middle, coasting without locally breaking the speed of light. Space can expand faster than light. Cosmic inflation says low. So this bypasses Einstein's speed limit without violating relativity. I guess, hypothetically, how fast could you go? Built from a tweak in Einstein's field equations using a metric tensor and engineered to deform space-time into the desired shape, you get a warp bubble moving at an arbitrarily high speed, but it only works if your energy momentum tensors include negative energy density, exotic matter. Okay, well, there you go. Fuel source is exotic matter. You need stuff that is negative mass energy density, repels normal matter, violates a weak energy condition, which says mass energy must be greater than or equal to 0, I think. Quantum theory offers glimmers, Casimir effect, but nothing stable or engineerable yet. Problems. Exotic matter demand. Original estimate required more mass energy than the entire universe. Yes, that was the original problem. Later refinements, I didn't heard of the refinement. Claims it can work with less, but still ludicrous. Yeah. Causality issues can enable time travel via closed time-like curves. Particles build up at the bubble's front and fry you when you stop. Navigation and control. You can't interact with the bubble's edges from inside. Good luck steering. Simplified analogy. Imagine surfing a wave. You're not paddling faster than the wave. The wave space-time carries you forward. Replace water with the fabric of reality. Yeah. Purely theoretical. They tried to tinker with space-time metrics, but no warp field yet. Who's going to be the first one to get on the wave? There's a chance you'll end up like a cooked goose on the other side. But listen, for the greater good, right? Yeah. Didn't they float strawberries using superconductors? Good question, brother. So, like, how fast, hypothetically, could you go with this? Like, if I want to pay Zeta Reticuli a visit. I fucked up spelling it, but anyway, it's close enough. Technically infinite. The Alcubierre drive isn't bound by the speed of light because the ship itself never moves. Space-time does. Well, no, but the energy, you need more energy to go faster, would you not? Straight to the cosmic Tinder swipe. What the fuck is this shit? I see off to Zeta Reticuli for a cheeky pint with the Greys. Brother, cosmic Tinder swipe. What the fuck do you think I'm going over there to do? Okay. You can reach Zeta Reticuli 39 light years in minutes or even seconds from the traveler's perspective. You generate the warp bubble. You sustain it without disintegrating everything nearby. You can stop without becoming a gamma ray omelet. Okay. Ballpark it. So let's say you want to get there in 1 minute ship time. That's 2.3 million times the speed of light. Dear Christ. 2.3 million times the speed of light. Yeah, because it's 39 light years away. From Earth frame, you might seem to vanish and reappear. But here's the kicker, no time dilation inside the bubble. You age normally. Earth does not. You can do the round trip and be back in time for tea. Or your Tinder date, whatever the fuck you're doing over there, yeah. Yeah, Zeta Reticuli, their balls. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know what it thinks we're going over there to do, but, well, clearly it's something sexual. But this assumes you can stabilize negative energy. You have some unimaginable energy source. You don't shred space-time or causality. You avoid destroying your destination with your arrival shockwave. It's like saying, how fast can I go if I had a dragon? Answer, very. Problem, dragons don't exist. How fast can I go? Very. Problem, dragons don't exist yet. Well, you don't fucking know that. You don't fucking know that. Fuck you. Fuck you, you don't know that. Okay, what if we throw Bob lasers theory of what he worked on into the mix here? Doesn't make any more sense. Probably not. Yeah. They tried to float Jim's giant wang using an array of superconductors, but they need to invent zero-point energy first. Such was the power draw required because they needed so many superconductors because his wang is enormous. Oh my heavens, brother! We're getting there. We've got to go and see what it's like to swipe on Zeta Reticuli. Is it swipe right or left? I can't remember. You can swipe left on Zeta Reticulans. You just swiping. What's just the one where you throw them out? Just laughed all fucking day. You're like, no, they're not compatible species. Yeah. Everything's made out of 12 fundamental particles that we seem to be able to predict and prove eventually. So that part is probably correct. So let's see here. They're oddly close in principle. Yes, suspiciously close, aren't they? The Alcubierre drive. It's almost like Miguel was again watching Bob's fucking interviews and said, I could do the theory out of this and be famous. Anyway, okay. So you got gravity wave distortion, space-time compression expansion, element 115 fuel source, exotic matter, no inertia inside craft, flat region and warp bubble, so you're not moving. Falls into created space, space moves, ship sits still. Engineer local space-time to move the craft. Hypothetical fusion. So if Lazar's tech is real, 115 can produce directed negative energy densities. It can form localized gravity wells. It sustains this with a small fuel supply. Then it's essentially a miniature Alcubierre engine minus a catastrophic energy needs. This would imply interstellar travel is practical. Faster than light is already achieved by some entity. The reason we don't see the aliens is they're using tech we can't perceive, local space-time cloaking. Well, that's, yeah, exactly. They could cloak themselves in the crafts, yeah. Which he saw at the test flight. When you were underneath the craft, because they only have one of the generators going, when you're underneath it, it was invisible. If they had all of them going and they were flying out, the whole thing would be invisible. You wouldn't see it. It would distort everything around it. So I just like, why doesn't anybody dig further into his account? I mean, Miguel here clearly based. I mean, now it's also based around the Starship Enterprise in Star Trek, which had a similar kind of propulsion system. So then again, you could be like, okay, who did they consult? Who were the scientists they consulted on to work on Star Trek? Because this sounds, again, eerily similar to what Bob described. And it isn't just like, well, Bob just watched Star Trek and made all this shit up too. There's been other people that have chimed in, like Travis Taylor, watching the gimbal footage, who have observed some of the stuff as well and said, holy shit, this kind of looks like what might be going on. So it's interesting. Speculative payoff. If Bob's right, the warp bubble doesn't need a ship-sized particle accelerator. It's like jumping from 1940s piston engine straight to anti-gravity Tesla Roombas. Fuck yeah. No stable isotope by element 115 exists yet. No. No observed gravitational A waves. No. And that's the other part about this. It might not be completely correct. He has holes. Yeah, we know this. We know. Yeah. But also weird corroborations. Hand scanner, S4 layout, element 115 named decades later. Although that we've kind of gone over that isn't necessarily too weird, but It was on the periodic table as 115. It didn't have the name Moscovium, but it was on the periodic table. It was on the hypothetical periodic table. And we knew, but we were going to get to it at some point. Just like 116, 17, 18, and going forward through the other elements too that hypothetically exist. When we get advanced enough, we'll probably run into them, manufacture them. But anyway, what a warp bubble generated by laser attack might look like. No, but okay. So that's, oh, anyway, I mean, fuck, very interesting article. I don't fucking know. It'd be sick, bro. Like, it's just the future, right? Like, yeah. But on Zeta Reticuli, it's abundant. Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, here, we've been asking that quickly. Last thing we ask it, I guess. Could a stable version of 115 exist in Zeta Reticuli? How do you spell it? It's Q-U-I. Is that it? What if fuck, close enough. Absolutely could. Here's where things get spicy. Local physics, same as ours, mostly. So the binary star system, older than our sun, but 2 to 3 billion years it's older, really. Metal rich, meaning more heavy elements possible during stellar formation. Long time for exotic nucleosynthesis and planetary cross or via neutron star collisions. So a stable isotope 115 could be produced naturally or artificially there if they have advanced reactors or star forging tech, or their planetary cross formed in a region seeded by exotic stellar events. Yeah. So there's what we know of. It's a Moscovium. If aliens in particular evolved with access to a naturally stable 115, they might have never developed combustion or chemical propulsion. They'd leap straight to gravity manipulation and space-time warping. It could explain how they got here, if they are here. Yeah. You could, yeah. Interesting meme. I mean, it's very fucking interesting. It's legitimately very interesting. I don't know why more people don't take it more seriously, but because we don't have a piece of it, they can't test it. But scientists are stupid, man. You could easily create a perpetual motion machine by strapping a piece of buttered toast side up at the back on a cat and then dropping the cat, brother. Yeah, fuck. You gotta go to your local university, brother, and fucking get in that fucking physics department and say, boys, why are we using nuclear power? What are we doing? Anyway, like, what the fuck are we doing here?